For most of the 20th century, media flowed in one direction. A small number of organizations created content. Everyone else watched. Television networks broadcast. Audiences consumed. Film studios produced. Viewers purchased tickets. News organizations published. The public read. The relationship was clear. A few people spoke. Everyone else listened. Then, almost overnight, that model began to collapse. Not because television disappeared, not because Hollywood vanished, not because journalism ended, but because a simple idea emerged. What if anyone could become a broadcaster? Not with millions of dollars, not with a television license, not with a media empire, just a camera, an internet connection, and an idea worth sharing. This is the story of YouTube, the platform that transformed media from an industry into a participation sport. Before YouTube, to understand YouTube, we need to remember how difficult media creation once was. Imagine trying to reach 1 million people in 1995. You needed a television network, a publishing company, a radio station, a movie studio. The barriers were enormous. Distribution was expensive. Production was expensive. Audience access was expensive. Talent mattered. Creativity mattered. But infrastructure mattered even more. If you couldn't access the distribution system, your content rarely reached the public. The gatekeepers controlled the audience, and the audience had few alternatives. By the early 2000s, several technologies were beginning to converge. Broadband internet, digital cameras, cheaper storage, faster computers. Suddenly, ordinary people could create digital video. There was just one problem. Sharing it was still incredibly difficult. File formats were confusing. Hosting was expensive. Bandwidth was limited. Playback was unreliable. The technology existed. The experience did not. And throughout Bay Origins, we've seen what happens when Silicon Valley identifies friction. Someone eventually removes it. In 2005, 3 former PayPal employees launched a new company. Chad Hurley, Steve Chun, Jawed Karim. Like many Silicon Valley stories, the idea began with a practical problem. Video sharing was frustrating. The founders envisioned something dramatically simpler. Upload a video. Share a link. Done. No technical expertise required. No media company required. No broadcast license required. Just publish. The simplicity was revolutionary. One of the recurring themes throughout Bay Origins is that innovation often comes from lowering barriers. Google lowered barriers to information. eBay lowered barriers to commerce. PayPal lowered barriers to payments. YouTube lowered barriers to media creation. And once the barrier fell, participation exploded. Millions of people began uploading videos. Comedy, education, music, tutorials, reviews, personal stories, news commentary. The internet was no longer simply a place to consume media. It became a place to create media, the first true creator economy. Before YouTube, media careers generally required institutions, television networks, production companies, publishers, studios. YouTube introduced a different model. Individuals could build audiences directly. No intermediary required. For the first time, entirely new professions emerged. Content creators, influencers, independent educators, digital entertainers, video entrepreneurs. Many of these careers simply did not exist before YouTube. A teenager with a camera could potentially reach more people than a local television station. An extraordinary shift. Television versus YouTube. A useful way to understand YouTube is through comparison. Television allowed a few organizations to broadcast to millions. YouTube allowed millions of people to broadcast to the world. That distinction changed media forever, because control shifted. Not completely, but significantly. Institutions still mattered. Yet individuals now possess something they had never possessed before: direct access to global audiences. And access changes behavior. The long tail of creativity. One of YouTube's most important contributions was economic. Traditional media favors mass audiences. Television needs large viewership. Movies need large audiences. Major publications need scale. YouTube created something different. The long tail. Niche content became viable. A channel dedicated to ancient history. A channel focused on model trains. A channel teaching mathematics. A channel analyzing startups. Each might attract a relatively small audience locally. But globally, those audiences become enormous. The internet aggregates niche interests, and aggregation creates opportunity. In 2006, Google acquired YouTube. The acquisition proved crucial. Video is expensive. Storage, bandwidth, infrastructure, all require substantial resources. Google's infrastructure helped YouTube scale to global proportions. The platform continued growing. Millions of creators became billions of viewers. A new media ecosystem emerged. For much of its early history, the internet was primarily text-based. Websites, articles, email, forums, search results. YouTube accelerated a shift toward visual communication. Video became one of the internet's dominant languages. Education changed. Entertainment changed. Marketing changed. Journalism changed. Entire industries adapted. Because audiences increasingly expected video, the internet became more visual, more personal, more human. Many people think YouTube's greatest achievement was online video. That's only part of the story. Online video existed before YouTube. The deeper achievement was democratization. The platform dramatically expanded who could participate in media. Not just corporations, not just broadcasters, not just professional producers. Anyone. Success was never guaranteed. Competition remained intense. Attention remained scarce. But the opportunity became available. And opportunity changes systems. Throughout Bay Origins, we've explored a recurring Silicon Valley pattern. Identify an activity previously controlled by institutions. Build a platform. Lower participation barriers. Scale globally. Google did it with information. Facebook did it with social relationships. LinkedIn did it with professional networks. YouTube did it with media itself. The company transformed media from something people consumed into something people participated in. And that transformation continues today. Every creator, every educational channel, every independent documentary, every tutorial, every podcast clip exists within a world YouTube helped create. Which brings us back to the question at the heart of Bay Origins. Why did it happen here? Perhaps because Silicon Valley repeatedly recognized that the most powerful innovation isn't creating content. It's giving more people the ability to create it. The innovator's ledger. Lesson 1. Lower barriers, expand participation. YouTube didn't create creativity. It created access. The biggest opportunities often emerge when you make participation dramatically easier. Lesson 2. Distribution is power. Many creators already existed. What they lacked was distribution. Control access to audiences, and you shape industries. Lesson 3. Platforms create new professions. YouTube didn't simply launch a product. It created an ecosystem. The most transformative companies often enable careers that previously didn't exist. Founder's question. YouTube succeeded because it democratized media creation. What industry today still relies on gatekeepers? And what would happen if participation became dramatically easier? Closing. YouTube did not invent video. It did not invent storytelling. And it did not invent entertainment. What it reinvented was access. A platform built by 3 former PayPal employees helped turn billions of viewers into potential creators. The television era asked, "What should we watch?" YouTube asked, "What do you want to create?" And in that moment, media changed forever. This is Bay Origins, birthplace of the future.